Called the cops on my GF. So my 25M girlfriend, 25F, has a history of threatening suicide when we get into arguments, being admitted to the hospital one time for an actual attempt. Long story short, we got into an argument tonight and she threatened to use a box cutter to slit her wrists. So I rushed over to her apartment and called the cops, and they took her away in cuffs. Very shitty to watch. And now she's been admitted to the hospital again and I don't have a way to contact her RN. I feel really awful and guilty about it, and I'm terrified of the ramifications it'll have on her career. She's not a bad person at all, and I don't really think she means it when she threatens it. So knowing that deep down she 99.9999% wouldn't do it, I feel terrible in retrospect. I'm also scared of what's gonna happen to our relationship moving forward, because I really do love her and want to be with her, and I'm scared of potential resentment from her. One more thing. She is currently in a pretty intensive outpatient therapy program, where she goes about 4 days a week for 3 hours or so. She's been super self-conscious about her progress, as she said she doesn't want to disappoint me or not seem like she's not trying. As other people have said, this girl is manipulating you. Whether she genuinely has a mental illness or not, using it as a threat against someone is never okay. You did the right thing with regards to concern for her welfare, but maybe it's time to think about ending this relationship. You did the right thing because you never know if a person is going to really do it. Especially since she has had a previous attempt. People that manipulate their partners by threatening to kill themselves over an argument are awful. Don't feel bad, she just wants attention. I'd be looking at holding her accountable for putting you in that position repeatedly over arguments. You did the right thing. Maybe she wouldn't have done anything, but maybe she would have. Hopefully this is a wake-up call to, firstly, stop using suicide as a threat, and secondly, get the help that she desperately needs. This was a call for help. Whether it was manipulation tactic toward you, or otherwise, you answered that call as best you knew how in that moment. You have to take every threat seriously. I suggest you look into some of the cluster B personalities and see if she falls into the borderline category. If she does, you'll have some good insight into how she operates. It can become too much to be held hostage by this behavior. Develop exit strategies and remember that you are not responsible for her actions. It's not okay for her to do this. Time to go, no contact. This is mental manipulation and emotional abuse. My roommate think he should pay less for his room because my boyfriend and I share a room. My roommate, M20, moved in May of last year. He paid 1 month of rent on time, then has either been late or hasn't paid me at all. He racked up close to $2,000 in debt to me, not once but twice. I've been more than understand because he was my friend and helped me when I tried to unalive myself last summer, and he had crashed his car and lost his job all in 1 week, but now I just feel like he's taking advantage. Because it's always excuse after excuse, and this has been going on for almost a year. I've tried multiple times to tell him that rent needs to be paid in full on the one stone, no exceptions. Yet, he still continues to decide it when it's most convenient for him and come up with more excuses that don't even make sense. Example. He won't pay till 9th or later, or pays in chunks. I've told him multiple times that I can't do that anymore because when he doesn't pay in full, because I have to cover him, I'm the one who has to send the landlord checks. And that if he can't afford it then he needs to move out. I also paid my roommate's share of utilities since he moved in despite me promoting him multiple times to contribute. My boyfriend moved in December, which I spoke to my roommate about it before my boyfriend moved in and asked if he thought it was fair to continue to split rent per room, and split utilities per person, which he agreed. I was ready to kick the roommate out. But, my boyfriend was worried about us covering the extra $750 a month while looking for a new roommate, so he wanted to try to make our situation work. There's tons of other problems I have with my roommate. 1. Brings over random girls from Bumble. And leaves them unattended in the house. 2. Loud sex at 2 a.m. Literally screaming. 3. He doesn't help clean any common areas in the house. 4. He doesn't buy anything that he uses of mine. Laundry detergent, shampoo, trash bags. My boyfriend and I buy all the cleaning supplies. 5. He lets my dog outside at night while I'm sleeping and doesn't let him back in. Our land isn't fenced in. My dog is old. There's no access to water. My dog wears a diaper in the house and roommate doesn't take it off, resulting in me needing to give my dog a bath after he tries to potty with the diaper on. 6. I have to clean up after him. Dishes, coffee rings on the counter, hair and spit in the sink, trash, wears his shoes in the house, etc. My boyfriend and I have been on his case about rent and his share of utilities. We haven't even bothered him about all the other stuff in a while. Fast forward to yesterday. Roommate said he can't pay rent until the 9th of next month, then said he wants to split rent 3 ways equally because my boyfriend and I store stuff in the sunroom. Which would mean my roommate would only be paying $500, which is low for a private room in a biggish 2-bedroom house in our area. While $1,000 for the same sized bedroom is kinda steep. I want to tell him absolutely not because he agreed to $750 when he moved in. I've also been more than kind coving his portion of the rent for months and months. Also his ex lived with us for 2 months and I still paid $750 and all of the utilities. Should we be splitting rent differently? $700 plus $800? $650 plus $850? $750 plus $750? $1,000 plus $500? Should I just kick him out at this point because obviously the situation isn't improving? Edit. 1. I'm not asking roommate to take care of my dog. Just asking him to please not let my senior dog outside at night when we have coyotes and no fence. Especially when he has a diaper on and ends up pooping and peeing all over himself. 2. Warning, roommate moved ex-girlfriend in and we still split rent per room. Warning. You should kick him out and live with your boyfriend and nobody else, if that's affordable. Or move with him into a different, affordable place. I've never shared a place where the rooms were what determined the rent regardless of how many people moved into the room. It's not like the extra person isn't sharing the common areas too. Whenever we took on a new roommate, even someone partner moving into the room, everything was split by tenant, not room. 1. If he can't pay rent, kick him out. 2. The 3 of you need to split the rent 3 ways. You are in fact taking advantage of this guy if he is paying half while your boyfriend is getting a free ride. Your boyfriend is using the common rooms. He needs to pay. Rent should have been spilt by tenant. But he shouldn't be late on rent. Everyone sucks. He should not being paying half when 3 people live there. You suck for even pretending that makes sense. He sucks for not paying, but to be honest he's being overcharged, so good luck with finding someone to agree to pay that ridiculous amount. When I moved in with my boyfriend and roommate we split the rent by square footage. We each had access to the common areas we each counted 1/3 road of common area SQFT. She then has access to her room, so that counted as her SQFT, and my boyfriend and I each had 1/2 of our room's SQFT. It worked out well. Yes, we combined paid a bit more in rent than she did, but it was still cheaper for everyone involved. That being said, this roommate is crap, you might want a new one. My wife seems to be interested in an open relationship. My M55 wife, F57, has discussed the topic of an open relationship over the past year. She had also seemed more comfortable with her having sex with other men than me being with other women. So maybe an open relationship for her but not me. I am skeptical of form of open relationship working for most couples. She herself often says that an open relationship is a way to justify wanting to have an affair. Last night at a party with some of her friends, my wife and one of her friends' husbands seemed to take great interest in each other. Near the end of the party they started to discuss my wife going to visit for a while. I would imagine with my wife's history of cheating, interest in extramarital sex, and attraction to her friend's husband that the visit, i.e. staying at the friend's house for several days, would be for the purpose of having sex with the husband. The wife seems to not trust her husband as when the suggestion was made, she said that a girl's vacation might be a better option. After getting home, I believe my wife ended up sexting the husband. Also something my wife has a history of doing. I am beginning to think that letting her go might be the best option. If being free to have sex with other men is important to her, then it may also be wise to end the marriage so that she can live the life she wants and I can find a partner with views similar to my own. I would have to agree with you. Your wife seems completely uninterested in continuing a relationship with you, so best to let her go. There are many single 50-year-old women out there looking for a good man to have a mutually fulfilling relationship with. So not only is she cheating on you, she is also about to fuck up another couple's marriage? I'd get a divorce if I were you. Your wife cheats on you. You pay for her cosmetic surgeries to look better, so to make her more desirable, from you previous posts. Wants a one-sided open relationship as she is probably tired of hiding cheating on you, too much work. Time to find a good divorce lawyer and get the process going. Have some self-respect and divorce her. She is blatantly disrespectful to you and another married woman, whom she calls a friend, by trying to start a physical relationship of some sort with him. She is disgusting. She doesn't care about you or anyone else besides herself. If she is so unhappy, she can go be happy somewhere else getting piped down by other men exactly how she wants. Whatever you guys decide to be okay with, the basis of a marriage relies on fairness and respect. I feel it's not fair that she's okay with screwing other men but she isn't okay with you being with other women. General rule of thumb is that if both are okay with something, then it's probably okay. If one person or both are not okay with something, then it's not okay. She's a cheater. They cheat. Yes, you shouldn't tolerate that. My partner came out to me as trans. For context, I am a straight man and my current partner is a biological female. We have been dating for a year now with no mentions of this. I don't know what to do because I love them, and I hate to say it but I wish they weren't trans. Edit. Thanks for all the comments despite the weirdly phobic ones. We have decided to take a break, to give my partner time to figure out who they are. In the meantime, I am going to drink away my sorrows. Not saying this to be rude, but if that's not something you feel like you can deal with, I'd end the relationship. Save everyone a lot of pain and headaches. You're straight, and your partner just came out as a trans guy. It's understandable that they want to stay with you, but honestly, if you don't want to be in a relationship with a man, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with them. It can be hard to work things out while you're coming out and trying to start passing, so if you can still be there for them as a friend, that's great, but they're not someone you can really be in a relationship with. If you wish they weren't trans, then you need to break up. It's better for you and them. You would never dream of asking a gay person to be straight for you in order to date you. Why should the opposite apply to straight people? Part ways as a supportive friend. I feel like instances like this are much easier to handle when looking at it from the outside. If they truly are trans, then they are a dude. You are a dude. If you aren't gay, then bounce on out. It seems logical to me. You answered your own question. I am a straight man. Surely, and with respect, that means you should surely part company?